I'm just getting ready to go out to MAC. So I really like MAC makeup. I've been using it for years, but I've never been able to find a foundation that worked for me. Saying that, I'm using Double Wear today for the first time in ages, and I feel like it's way too light for me, but we can fix that up. So yeah, I've never been able to find a foundation that worked for me. I tried a couple and they, yeah, just didn't work for me. So I was really excited to get an invitation from from a PR company that represents them to try out some foundation and some more products from them. So I'm trying to cover up the best that I can that I had a really bad night's sleep and my eyes are really puffy and red from, I don't know, an allergy. I think it could even be the cat. Maybe I didn't wash my hands properly after I played with her. But yeah, things are not looking pretty today, but we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it and then we're gonna go to Broadway Shopping Centre where I've got an appointment. And I'm gonna get colour matched and we're gonna see what works for me. I'm gonna have to put some eye drops in because they look terrible. The shade of Fit Me powder that I picked up in Hawaii is the shade Light, and Fair was probably a better a match for me, but because it is a little bit darker, it's actually making the foundation look a little better. It's funny, like some other powders, it actually kind of changes colour slightly when it hits certain points, and it's usually when it hits a wet concealer or something. How funny. So on camera this looks really harsh and unblended, but to the naked eye it looks fine. That's so weird. I'm gonna use the Pixie blush. I was saying before that I use a lot of MAC makeup.
Yeah, amazing.
But I just have never found a foundation that worked for me.
Okay,
so
have you tried Studio Fix?
No, I've never tried Studio Fix.
Studio Fix is a silicone-based foundation, so it will help to control any oil that you get.
Yeah.
Are you okay with waxing your skin?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, beautiful.
I'll
give you one of those, and I will start to grab a couple of things.
Everything off? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you feel comfortable.
Yeah. Combination.
Okay.
I can get quite sort of oily in T-zone, especially in summer.
Okay.
But yeah, have you guys seen the new Patrick Star stuff yet?
No.
The powder's really good. I got it in Hawaii a couple weeks ago. It's so good. Yeah,
no, I'm excited for it. I don't know if it's gonna be
February.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's online only here.
Oh,
yeah, really beautiful, like smoothing primer base.
Yeah.
It's the same as like the foundation, predominantly silica based. So again, like obviously
so
gonna help.
Timecheck lotion.
Yes. Gonna help to control all your oil and everything throughout the day, but it just like feels so smooth.
Would you use it everywhere or just in the T-zone or?
It's up to you. I mean, like if you find that you like, do you normally use primers and stuff?
Yeah, all every day.
Yeah. Okay, so you definitely can put it all over, like I would normally. Yeah. But if there are just like certain areas that you kind of like you can obviously avoid those areas as well. Pop some Timecheck on as well.
So
For me, this year I'm going to focus more and to try and niche myself down to the over 30s.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
We are a forgotten group. Yeah, we're the ones that have the most disposable income usually.
Yeah.
Because you know, a lot of companies use really young models and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And target audience was a very young audience, but you know, I don't know about you, but when I was, you know, high school or whatever, I had no money to spend on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No way. I'm just gonna test a couple of shades. I think the next one is going to be a little bit too dark. I feel like this is a really good match,
Yeah,
but obviously it is a little bit of a fuller coverage, so you're gonna kind of be like a blank canvas to start off with.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Until
yeah.
you obviously put
I
your
know
cheeks
what
on. So if you're okay with that,
Yeah.
I would probably
Yeah,
be
let's
leaning
put the
towards
yellow.
that. Yeah, like I think these are gonna end up like just too orange.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah,
beautiful.
So
Or
what shade's that?
So that's an NW13.
So that's more.
Yeah, so it has a little bit more pink to it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Because I've always felt quite neutral, like
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Like I think you've got like, because you've got a bit of yellow in here, but then you're like,
Rosy.
I feel like you're like predominantly pinky tones. Yeah. You're one of those tricky ones.
yeah, and I think that's part of the problem that I've had before, in that
Yeah.
perhaps the shade matches me, but the undertone's not quite right.
Yeah. Yeah, and I find these dudes are like slightly darker once they've been on for a little bit as well. So especially when it's all over, you don't want it to be too dark. White girls just can't get away with that.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Prolongwear's definitely more on the matte side, but I'm so dry on the matte eyes now.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I wear it like every day.
Like I don't have like heaps of lines. But,
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe because I'm a bit older, it just feels a bit drier under there.
Yeah,
But
we'll see.
if I use a really heavy like eye cream, it's fine.
Yeah. How do you blend it in with like a beauty blender or something?
usually,
Or yeah. And so, in terms of like overall coverage, do you like it like being quite full, or do you?
Yeah, I'm a medium to full.
Well, that's what Studio Fix is, a medium to full coverage. I mean, I kind of like to do like one layer all over, and then I just go back and like add.
Okay, so it's really buildable.
Really do it, yeah.
Yeah, like every day for work and stuff like that, I'll just do like a fairly medium and then
Yeah.
just a concealer.
Yeah.
I felt and looked really, really tired this morning, so I put
Yeah.
it on.
How are you feeling about that so far?
Oh, actually, that's not too light.
Yeah, yeah.
It looked like it was going to be really light.
Yeah, I think it's good because that way you're not going to have to like blend it all the way down. You're
Yeah.
not going to like worry about any
That's
of
a
that.
surprise. I was really good.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I've had like the bags in my eyes since I was like 18.
Oh, same. So have I.
My dad's got them.
Yeah. Yeah, my mum and my grandpa. Yeah, like. Mate, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for that.
And you said you do like a mini bake, right?
Yeah, and then I'll set everything else just slightly.
With a translucent, or do you use? Yeah, just And so obviously if you want more coverage with your Studio Fix, like you can, like I'm saying, build it, yeah. But it just depends what your personal preference is.
So is this like a silica based powder?
The powder is it? No. So I mean, really,
Flashback to that?
no, it's not gonna flashback. So this one doesn't have like SPF in it. It's not like cowbacks or anything. And all of our Studio Fix does have SPF in it, but all of our sunscreens that we use are chemical free, so it's just a flashback. Yeah. you want to be any more set than that?
No, that's fine.
Okay. The Give Me Some is...
It's the first one, right?
Yeah. Very popular one.
Such a good name.
I know.
Exactly what you want.
Okay. Now Warm Soul is honestly like the most universal blush. Such a good colour.
This looks really nice and soft.
Yeah. And are you familiar with something?
Yeah, I've got it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's one of the first colours I've ever bought.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good staple.
And it lasts forever.
I know.
Like, I don't think I'll ever have to refresh
Yeah,
it.
too.
Oh, that's nice.
So nice, hey? Is there anything else you want me to add?
That's all good.
No? Amazing.
So it's a few days later, and I have to say thank you so much to Zoe in the Broadway store. I had such a good time. It was such a useful experience going in there and having a look at the products and talking to like an expert about how the products work. So I really recommend, if you are interested in some new MAC products, to really schedule like an appointment with one of the makeup artists, and they can really talk to you about what suits your skin. So that was the Broadway store. I really like, because it must be like a refurbished store or something like that, because it was so beautiful and it was so well stocked and clean and just really fresh looking. So, but you know, you can visit I think any store and have a talk to one of the makeup artists there. So one of the things that I was most surprised about, like there's a lot of MAC skin products that I already knew about. So for example, I've been using the Fix Plus spray for a long time, a really long time. It's probably one of the first MAC products I ever bought, and I really do use this like 90% of the time I'm wearing makeup. I've used this somehow. I've also been a really big fan of Strobe Cream for the longest time. I've used this in so many different ways, to either use as a primer or like a moisturizing primer. I've used this to mix in with foundations to get a more dewy effect. So I am aware of a lot of these products. So I mean, we all know that we can change the way foundations look with complementary products, but I guess I wasn't aware of how many products MAC actually does have. And so I've got my bottle of the Studio Fix Fluid. I'm finally part of the FIXFAM, and I actually got it in NW13, which is definitely too light for me. Now this is the colour that looked best on me in store that day, and even on that day you will see that it's too light for me, but it was able to be modified really well with some bronzer and stuff like that. The rest of the shades in this same sort of family tended to be just really the wrong undertone and look just wrong altogether. So this is the one that we went with, and this is good because now that it is summer and I'm a little bit darker, I will be able to warm it up with some other sort of powder products. But in winter, this will actually be absolutely perfect for me. So what I thought we would do is we might do a bit of a comparison, a side-by-side face comparison of the different kind of looks that you can get, or the different types of finishes, I suppose you could say, with the one product, using some of the complementary products. So maybe what we'll do is, like on one side of the face, we'll do a full-on like smooth matte look, and then on the other side we'll have a really dewy kind of like glowy look. And I'll try and stick to all MAC products. I have gone ahead and put on some mascara and brows today, but they'll need to be fixed up once I do my foundation. So what you'll see is products that are mostly from my collection that I've had and bought, you know, for a long time, and then there's going to be a couple of products that were just recently gifted to me. But what I'll do is I'll let you know which products we gifted. So we'll start off with our base, and if we're going to do dewy, what do we say, dewy, matte, who knows, doesn't matter. So we'll do matte on one side and dewy on the other. And so we'll start off with some prep. So I've already moisturized, I've already put an eye cream on, and so everything in terms of my skin is quite ready to go, but we are going to need something on the base. So on the matte side, we're going to go ahead and use the Timecheck lotion. This is a MAC Mineralize product. This was gifted, and this is something that's going to help prolong the wear of your makeup, and it's going to help control some of the oils. So I'm going to take 2 little pumps. You can tell it's a brand new product. 2 pumps, warm it up between the fingers, and then just press it all over my skin. You are supposed to kind of keep this clear of the eyes, so don't use it too close to the eyes. So I'm not going to get right underneath there, and my skin feels kind of tacky and ready for some foundation. I'm going to go ahead and apply just a tiny bit more on my nose and cheeks where I have the largest pores and also where I tend to get sort of oiliest. I have combination skin, and I guess I'm on the side of like more mature skin, so any help to keep things looking smooth is appreciated. And then on the other side, to get a really beautiful dewy finish, this is something I've done for years, I'm going to use the Strobe Cream. I always tend to buy the minis. I just feel like I think they're better value for money getting 2 minis than one full size. And this is one that I purchased myself. And this is the original formula. I know there are some other like different colors. So this one kind of is a white lotion that goes on colorless, but it does have a shift. Can you see the difference on camera? Certainly in person, you can see how glowy this side is. So for this side of the face that's going to keep nice and matte, I'm going to go ahead and just use the foundation straight. So I'm going to start off with 2 pumps. You know I like some full coverage. And before anyone says anything, I do know that this is a little light for me, but it'll all come out okay in the end. It's worth mentioning I've got quite a lot of texture, and I've got a bit of a breakout around the perimeter of my skin. It's actually microplaned about 2 days ago, and I've done it before heaps of times and I've never really had a reaction, but this time yeah, maybe I did a little too hard, or I'm not sure what it was, but my skin is not feeling great at the moment, and it's just going to take a few days I think to heal properly, and yeah. But this foundation is covering up the majority of it, so pretty good. It's also worth mentioning this foundation does darken just a slight amount when it is drying, so that's okay as well. For the dewy side, again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to apply with my beauty blender, and I've got 2 pumps there, but I'm also going to use a little bit of Strobe Cream again mixed in to add a little bit more glow. The foundation certainly looks a lot more full coverage on this side because, one, it hasn't been diluted with the Strobe Cream like this side, but also the Timecheck lotion underneath has really gripped to the product. The foundation, to me, like in the to the naked eye, it looks good on both sides. It feels really weird to have this line down my nose where the foundation looks really different. On both sides, I'm going to go ahead and use Prolongwear concealer on a couple of spots and also under my eyes. Now this one here is one that I use very, very sparingly under my eyes. You really just need the tiniest amount. That's for the entire face. And the reason why I use it so sparingly is it can get a little dry under the eyes, particularly if you do have, like me, a lot of texture under the eyes and they're quite crepey. But I'm going to apply it just where I do have some blemishes. And like I said, under the eyes. I might go a little bit on the sides of the nose as well. On both sides, I'm going to go ahead and use this. This is the Patrick Star powder just under my eyes just to set them. And I'm literally using the smallest amount of powder. On the matte side, I'm going to go ahead and use the Prep and Prime Transparent Finishing Powder. This was gifted to me. It's a very, very fine powder. Absolutely no colour. And this does a really great job at minimising pores and making everything just look a lot smoother. I've actually seen people use it underneath foundation to fill in pores and stuff, almost like a primer. On both sides of the face, just to warm up the perimeters, I'm going to use this. Now this is something that I picked up overseas a couple of years ago. I'm not sure if this was available. So this was the Sculpt and Shape powder. It was 2 in 1, like one duo. And I'm going to use this just on the perimeters of my face, just to warm things up a little. Because as you know, this foundation's a little bit light. But I'll be using this on both sides of my face. And this is a matte finish. I'm gonna go ahead and use this. Now this is one of those products that everybody loves because it is a blush. It is the Mineralize blush in Warm Soul, but it also can be used a little bit like more all over the face again to warm up the complexion. I'm gonna use this on both sides. It's got a, almost like a satiny finish, and it just works really well on a lot of skin tones. I'm just gonna go ahead and use that same brush. It's a very pigmented blush, so a little bit goes a long way. And now for my absolutely favourite part. I'm going to go ahead and highlight with a cult favourite. This is Soft and Gentle. I've had this in my collection for years and years and years, and there's no chance I'll ever hit pan because it's just so like, you need such a little bit to achieve such a beautiful effect. And I'm going to apply that just on the dewy side. I'm going to use Warm Soul in the crease of my eyes. I love using face powders on my eyes. I just think they're as good as any eyeshadow. And on that side I'm going to leave it as it is, and then on this side I'm going to add some Soft and Gentle, and I'm going to wet my brush with a bit of Fix Plus. And it's going to add a really nice shimmer to the lid. I'm going to add a little bit of that under the brow as well. And just to the tip of my nose. Then I'm going to go ahead and apply a lipstick. I'm not sure what I'm going to use. No, I think something neutral. Alright, so we'll go with my absolute favourite MAC lipstick of all time, which is Myrrh. And that'll look really nice tied in with all the other kind of neutral shades. And then I'm going to finish everything off with a good spray of the Fix Plus spray. Now I'm going to use it a lot more liberally on this side, which is the dewy side, than I do on the matte side. And there we go, 1 foundation and 2 different finishes. Just using a whole bunch of complementary products. You can probably see the finish a lot better in the photos here. What do you prefer? Do you prefer a really dewy kind of lit from within look, or do you prefer kind of a matte look? Sometimes we prefer some things for every day and then something for a special occasion, but let me know what you think in the comments below. I'd like to thank MAC for providing this experience. This was not a sponsored post whatsoever, but like I said, there were a few gifted products to help me achieve some different looks. And just as a side note, you may have noticed me using this foundation. This usually doesn't come with a pump. You do need to purchase a pump. It usually comes with just a matte lid on it like that, but you can take this pump off and use it for a whole bunch of different products. Alright, let's leave it there. I'm going to list all the products that I used in the description box below, and there will also be a blog post on the website. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for joining me in my little corner of the internet. I will see you next time. Please subscribe.